Hello, and welcome to the Sonic Shuffle, a random and holistic Sonic lore podcast. I am the teacher, Dan.
Oh, sorry.
I am the student, Devon.
Okay.
Oh my god.
We were both waiting to be called on.
Yep.
I'm the other student, Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
It's fine.
We're off to a great start. The vibes of this game have killed us.
Yeah, we are recording half an hour late because I forgot what time it was. I forgot to send out for asks, so I had to make a post in the Discord about that. Our vibes are just as weird as this game's.
True.
This game's vibes are getting to us.
Yeah.
It was... Okay, so there's parts of it that were, like, the weird vibes this time, but there were some that, like, seemed okay. Like, when they were kind of in the dungeons. I don't know what else to call them other than dungeons. It was, like, fine.
I will say the whole Vine area was really cool.
Yeah, I
did like the Guardian boss thing. I thought his design was neat.
Yeah, I think this one had some neat environments, some interesting, just, it had some neat environments going on, and that definitely gave it a little more feel. Like, I could see the Vine level just being, like, a stage in a non-Boom Sonic game. Like your Knuckles and you're collecting emeralds there, or your classic Sonic and you're running around it.
Like Knuckles' floating island becomes evil or something, and then a bunch of evil vines scroll over, and Knuckles like, geez.
Yeah, he gets attacked by the Morbuzak.
Yeah.
Or were they the Karzani? Whatever it was. There was, in the first half of Bionicle's 2004 storyline...
Oh, God.
There was, like, these evil vines. I
wonder when Bionicles will do a pair-up with Sonic.
Oh,
Maybe for the 30th birthday.
There's... Loopersum has a couple pieces of fan art of Sonic characters wearing Bionicle shoes. I think it's like Tikal and it's like Tikal and Amy, I think.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Shoutouts to noted Sonic fan artist Loopersum, who just loves drawing Sonic characters in cool shoes and also cool outfits. So, with that being said, let's get into it. There wasn't any news. I guess it's worth noting, I probably should have noticed this on the anniversary week, but we did get, the 30th anniversary, themed annual for the Sonic IDW comic.
Nice.
I haven't read it yet, but I've heard good things about it. Yeah.
Has Devon started reading IDW?
Oh yeah, have you?
I have downloaded a few of the comics. I have to get to start reading them this weekend.
Yeah.
I am very excited.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, just to note, Dr. Starline, I think, first shows up around issue 13 or 14 after the first year's storyline is done.
Well, I have completionist disease in which I have to start at the beginning or I get nervous.
Yeah.
God.
I get you.
I feel like I miss things and then I go, oh god.
Yeah, I get you. Like the first year's storyline is just like a very good series of introductions to all the characters. Like the first 5 or so are like, here's Sonic doing something with this character, here's Sonic doing something with this character, and so on. until like the plot starts going.
Here's Sonic and Shadow trying to kill each other.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
I was talking about this with Morg. Remember when Shadow was in this game?
God, remember?
Yeah. I remember when Shadow was in this game. The next time we talk about this game actually will have Shadow for just a moment because we'll be finishing talking about the game and Shadow shows up for one brief serene moment in the ending.
What? Why?
I don't know.
Why was he in it and why was he only in it like twice?
Yeah.
At that point, you just don't put Shadow back in. It's just a bit at that point.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we pick up from our last adventure. Sonic and friends are on the island. Hang on, I just realized I never opened my notes. Here we go. So yeah, they start off. This player starts off by doing a side quest for Percy. I know Percy is like in the show, but I swear she has like a different name, and there might there. And I feel like
yeah, she's like a pink.
Yeah, she's like a. She's like a pinkish purple hedgehog or something.
Yeah.
She tells the gang to set up some defenses to protect the town from Lyric. And so they do that. There's like some towers on like the beach area of the map, and you have to like do puzzles to hit switches on them, and that makes this thing fly up. And apparently these like are defenses. I don't know if they're like a force field or like lasers.
Well, this is where I want to talk about this game's weird vibes. I think I figured it out. Characters are always like, oh fuck, oh god, Lyric is back. He's sending robots. He's destroying everything. Oh god, everything's so bad. Everything looks fine. All the buildings look fine.
Yeah, it looks normal.
There are no people in these games, so I can't tell if they're worried about anything, but the people we do meet look fine. So I'm just kind of like, oh, okay. You're going to put up some defenses against what? The one robot that I see every 15 minutes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I like wonder, because I know, like, the thing about why this game is so bad is it had, like, a whole bunch of, like, caveats put on it. Like, a lot of things had to be changed, and in the end, they didn't have enough time to fully finish working on it.
It just feels like it.
Yeah. The gang goes to the next location on the map, which is an ancient ocean purification plant. Sonic and Amy are gonna go down into the plant while Knuckles and Tails stay outside to watch over the village. There's like this bit where Sonic tells Knuckles, I need you to stay out here, and he says, no way, I'm not letting you have all the fun. I'm gonna be out here fighting robots while you go down in there.
It's like, yep, that's what we said.
The bits at which they try to remind you that Knuckles is an idiot are very funny. Because it's like Knuckles doesn't say anything for like 20 minutes, and then it's like, I'm stupid. And then he goes back to shutting up.
Yeah.
I'm big dummy. It's
I'm
like, okay, yeah, we know.
Just, alright. Glad you're here, buddy.
Yeah. So, they're in the plant. It's like it's a sort of like BioShocky, underwater pipes with underwater glass pipes and stuff. Quincy is there. He just sort of showed up. He explains he was built here and programmed here.
That's what that robot's name. I forgot.
Yeah.
I feel like I forgot most of the plot of this game.
I don't blame you.
Gonna be honest, same.
What
Yeah.
is... I was like, wait, I kind of remember this robot. What the fuck, though?
Mm-hmm.
Here's a question. Whatever happened to the nice drone lady robot?
I
don't remember her name at all. I'm sorry.
I don't... Hang on, I've got notes here.
She was the one who
see.
had them travel through time to go get something.
Oh, fuck. My notes are... I guess I don't remember her name, but she was nice. I think she's just in a time loop or something.
All right.
Yeah, they go through here, and weirdly enough, the crystal they need to get up to... the crystal they need is just at the start of the section, so they're like, huh, that's suspicious. Well, it's convenient, so who cares? And it turns out...
It's so convenient.
It's so convenient.
Yeah. It's at this point I'm noticing they always spell crystal with a capital C, and it's very distracting to me because I listen to a couple different podcasts that have someone named Crystal with a capital C.
It's them. They're in this game.
Anyway. Yeah.
We gotta go save them.
They're right over there. It's convenient.
Yeah. We're going to have to get Crystal from Audio Entropy to discuss her thoughts on Sonic. So she's going to she's going to review Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric and make up some bullshit to give it an absurdly high rating.
Yeah, saying the vibes are like nothing else you've ever experienced.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
Yeah, they get the crystal and a guardian comes out. It chases them around, and throughout the rest of this level, every so often there's a section where either a guardian shows up, and as it turns out there's multiple ones, and chase them around for a bit. Let's see. Yeah, it's broken up by puzzle platforming, same as always.
The Guardian's a cat.
Wait, is the Guardian a cat? I need
kind of.
The Guardian is a kitty cat.
Huh.
I just want to point that out because the Quincy...
They keep calling it a dog during this entire tracing.
Quincy had said nice kitty, and I was like, what cat? And then I looked at it for longer, and I was like, oh, it is a cat. It just has some fucked up ears.
Which is weird because Sonic and Amy keep calling it a dog later.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, it does have animal ears on it.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah,
I love the Guardian. I think it's cute.
Yeah.
It's cute.
It's cute.
It's this big orb with spikes and razor blades on it, and a bunch of tentacle arms, and also animal ears. I like it.
It's peak character design, which is orb.
Mm-hmm. That's honestly one of Sonic's greatest strengths, because he can become an orb whenever he wants.
He can go from a cool dude with attitude to orb.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But yeah, they go through more of the level. They get to a toxic dump area because they're this is a water purification plant. The waste gotta go somewhere.
Oh, it's my room.
Mm-hmm. There's... what else? Around this point, Quincy brings up that the crystal they collected is a fake, and the real one is further in.
It can never be easy.
Yeah. The next section is like this really big, open, like, it's like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like, it's basically a big section of seafloor, but like, it's opened up and there's walls of just water rushing around it. And there's like wrecked ships in there, and you have to like use the cannons on them to blow stuff up. Like, it looks cool, at least. We even get like a cutscene where Amy asks Sonic, hey, can we just like take a moment? This is cool, and I want a moment where I'm not being chased by a monster or having to fight a robot. So they stand there for a couple seconds, and she's like, and we're done. And they go through the section. Let's see. There's... They get to the end of that section. They, get the real crystal. And then they pilot an ancient submersible craft through the water, and it's this, I guess, shooting section. I don't know how to describe it. It's a vehicle section.
This section was wild because I looked away from my phone for like 2 seconds, and then when I looked back, they were in a submarine shooting at underwater mines, and I was like, so what happened?
Yeah. Yeah, I just sort of skimmed through the gameplay for the most part, only stopping to, like, notice when they, say stuff. I guess it is worth noting. We probably mentioned this, like, way back when we started talking about Rise of Lyric, but, like, all of the dialogue... So, like, first off, there's clearly, like, a lot of lines with, like, weird reads. There's, like, a certain tone to them that feels off, like, maybe it was used in one context and repurposed for this one. There's also, like, just a lot of, like, pick up, do thing lines, and, like, people talk about Sonic voices and how they're weird and whatnot, but very rare... It is not common for Sonic to just say bounce pad when he gets on a bounce pad, or I love rings when he collects a ring. But he does it in this. He does it a lot in this.
Yeah, it feels like they realized how empty their game feels, like how open world but not populated it is. So they're like, let's just fill that silence with the characters just constantly talking.
So much repeated lines.
Yeah.
Like, I get games sometimes have that, but, like, it just seemed like a lot. Because it was also, like, characters kind of saying the same things as previous characters. Like, one would say bounce pad, and the second one would say bounce pad.
Mm-hmm.
And there's, like, characters say things that, like, characters never prompted them to say, or there's not, like, a response to it. There's, like, a section where they're, like, going through a puzzle and, like, part of the area collapses. And Knuckles just goes, it wasn't me! I didn't punch anything! And no one, like, said, Knuckles, or no one responds like, Knuckles, you're fine. Like, he just starts freaking out, and then no one says a word.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, this sort of trope, it really goes back to when voice acting was just a thing people could do in games. Like, the two biggest examples of I can think of something like this are Duke Nukem and Gex. Both of which are games from over 20 years ago. And also had more contextual dialogue. It, like, sure, Gex in Gex for the 32X saying, hey, where's Jane Fonda when he's on a treadmill is weird, but he at least says it occasionally. Or, like, Duke Nukem, he has a lot of lines, but they're all, like, in response to a specific thing that happens. I guess...
It feels like an early, like, 4Kids dub.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, when they weren't confident that characters would, like, be into, like, the drama of an anime. So they're like, let's just fill, like, all these, like, spaces with just characters saying shit.
Right. And now I'm thinking about Fork. Yeah.
Yeah. It would just be like a silent scene in like the original Japanese, and then in the 4Kids stuff, someone has to be quipping.
Yeah.
They have to quip the whole time. And like to the extent that they have like a lot of I think they probably have more like internal monologuing in the dubs of like 4Kids things where they're like, I gotta be thinking this whole time.
Yeah, that's what this feels like.
And the fuck... Yeah, and like the fucked up thing is like, I am thinking about how 4Kids was involved with Sonic game voice acting for a while, and...
But not this one, right?
Yeah, this was years later. 4Kids doesn't even exist by this time.
Right, yeah.
Like, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, like, like, they weren't making jokes all the time in Sonic X. Like, there was a problem, which is that they filled all the emptiness with, like, music that wasn't good or interesting. But, I don't know. Anyways.
It just fully feels like they got to the end of, like, the production of this game, saw how, like, empty it just kind of felt without dialogue, and we're like, oh, we can fix this. We can just have these characters say shit constantly. And then it feels like something's happening. And instead, I just kind of feel like I'm like, guys, shut up. I'm just trying to do a puzzle.
It's like a laugh track. Like
that it is!
Yeah, it's a fucking laugh track. Literally, Sonic the sitcom though would be like.
I mean, that's what the TV show is gonna be. That is Sonic the sitcom. Yeah. So.
And that'll probably be hilarious, and I will love that. This is just like, what if the laugh track was one character saying their catchphrase over and over again, but in response to nothing?
Yeah. Yeah, where was I?
one thing this game does have going for it is that it, at least in this section, I don't know what made me think of this, but Sonic and Amy doesn't feel like she's like obsessed with Sonic in this game.
Yeah,
which is nice.
Yeah,
I was thinking about that during the water levels, especially because she was like hanging out with Sonic, but they weren't like, "Ooh, isn't this romantic, Sonic?" It was more like, "Oh, this looks nice, and it's nice to just chill for a second."
Yeah.
There was actually a really cool moment where it was they get into a certain level of the temple, and Amy's like, "Wow, look at this view. This looks wonderful." And Sonic's like, yeah, great view. Let's go. And she's like, no, I'm going to stay here and admire it for a little longer. She's not like, Sonic, wouldn't this be like romantic to be around? And he's like, no, let's get out of here, Amy. No, she's just like, no, I just like to stand here. And it feels nice.
Yeah. I just need to chill for a second, Sonic.
It does come with the line that she says, oh, finally, nothing's chasing us. We can just rest. And I'm like, the Guardian is directly in the other room.
Yeah. Like, I definitely think, like, over the course of the 2010s, they really shifted away from Amy as just being Sonic's girlfriend. Sonic's wishes wannabe girlfriend. Like, I think, like, in Sonic Boom, there's, like, they don't do it in here. Like, in the show, like, they bring it up, like, twice over the course of the entire series. And in IDW, like, the whole thing between them and IDW is like, yeah, Amy does have a crush on Sonic, but she's not gonna, like, let it get in the way of, like, important things.
Yeah. Like, you can have a character that crushes on another character. It's just early Amy was the whole joke was like, I'm dating Sonic, and Eggman would be like, oh, that'll piss Sonic off if I steal his girlfriend. And then Sonic's like, well, she's not my girlfriend, so.
Yeah. So, they finish the level. They're back on the beach. They run into one of the squids from Crater Lake, and it's at this point I realize what their actual names are, which are, let me just make sure I have this written down right. Pokey and Hokey. Just to remind people, because it's been fucking forever since we talked about Sonic Boom, they're like these two very old squids that are just like in these like robot suits that let them move around on land. Cool concept, I gotta say.
I do like it.
But
I kind of want like more weird fish anthro Sonic characters. It's just kind of funny. They do seem a little like, it is interesting. It kind of is like weirdly reminiscent of Lyric though, because he's like the snake in the...
Yeah. I wonder if that was like a plan in like one of the earlier phases, because like sometimes like in some games there'll be like this ancient dude and like there'll be this one side NPC who's like, oh, they're also like an ancient dude, and they'll have like some similarities in design. Anyways, yeah, but right now, Pokey and Oki have had a little dispute off screen, and Pokey wants to make it up to Oki by wait, is it Oki or Hokey? Hokey. Sorry. Pokey wants to make it up to Hokey by getting her some some seashells. So Sonic and friends run on water for a bit and like get seashells from these water spouts. They give it to him, gives him a relic, says it was a gift she gave him on his wedding night.
Hey bro, don't give that away.
Yeah. They're like, hey, you probably shouldn't give that away.
Hey, you're probably in trouble because you keep getting your wedding night gifts away.
Mm-hmm.
No, she's not a boss of me.
Yeah. So.
Also, like.
Yeah?
When they went to the beach, there was that, like, weird moment of, like, it was Sonic and Amy, like, coming back there and being like, oh, here's Knuckles and Tails.
Yeah.
Yeah, that feels like
I forgot about that.
Of the game. It feels like Knuckles and Tails did their own little adventure to get to this beach, and they just cut it, and they had to fill in dialogue. Was like, oh, those guys are here too.
Yeah, like, I mean, there are other sections like this, like the next level. Like, there's a lot of things where it's like two characters, and they both like go through different areas in the level. But not in that one. It's just Sonic and Amy in that one.
How romantic.
Yeah, they go to the next level. And it's called Creeper Gorge. It's
full of creepers, everything explodes.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's full of... Aw, man. It's full of vines, actually.
Yeah.
Those are the creepers.
Yeah, they're these big spiked vines. I think they have, like, purple tips. And they've basically overgrown this entire, like, otherwise rocky and barren wasteland.
Yeah, it rules.
Yeah, it's a really cool design for a level. Like straight up, like there is like a part where some robots show up, but like they're just immediately destroyed by the vines. Like the vines are the real enemy here.
Yeah, like the fact that a lot of the level is about like hitting the vines with a rock or like breaking something and the vines just kind of move, and I'm just like, oh, so this just makes it feel like it's like a sleeping ancient god or something. Like, the final boss is
Yeah.
going to be whatever makes up these vines.
Right. There's like a maze section. The Sonic and Knuckles go one way, Tails and Amy go the other. We get a cutscene with Tails and Amy, where they see Lyric, and Eggman shows up in a mech. Lyric tries to do his thing where he controls robots, but doesn't work on the mech because the whole thing is controlled manually by Eggman. Eggman shoots some rockets at Lyric. They all miss, and Lyric flies away.
I guess I also don't know what controlling a mech manually means.
I guess it means... So I guess, like, all of the robots he's controlled up to this point are, like, have an AI of some sort.
Oh, that makes... Okay.
Yeah. So he's less controlling the robot... He's less controlling the machine and more controlling the AI. So... Yeah, then Eggman, I guess, sees Tails and Amy and starts shooting rockets at them, and this whole, like, next section is, like, them, like, running around this side-scrolling area while, like, they avoid missiles or, like, have to grab missiles and throw them at stuff.
Nothing's better than when the main villain of your series gets to the point where he's just more of a slight nuisance. When we get lines of dialogue like, wow, those rockets look shitty. Guess we could throw them at this wall, though.
It's just like, wow, he's annoying.
It is worth noting that the rockets just... They don't explode on impact. They just sort of run out of fuel. Like... So...
I love this idea that Eggman was fine, I'll make a robot that doesn't have AI, and it's just the shittiest piece of garbage he has.
Let's see, there's... They go through more of the level. Eventually they get to, like, this big room in the center of this massive vines, and they fight Eggman. He says he's gonna defeat Sonic, and then he's gonna beat Lyric, and then he'll be on top. So, you get the boss fight.
You know what they say about an egg on top? It'll fall and crack.
Okay.
Stupid, I'm sorry.
Humpty
It's
Dumpty
fine.
sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a big fall.
Yeah, so...
That's all I have for that one,
Yeah, the boss fight, you can't attack directly, so you've got to, like, pick up missiles and throw them at him. And eventually he gets hit by enough that you can, like, pull him down and attack the pod. And there's, like, 3 phases of this. And, like, throughout the whole time, like, Eggman's, like, giving, like, he's just shouting stuff like, damn, I look cool in this thing, right?
He's like, please notice me. It's like,
just wants
dude,
to be cool.
Calm down.
Lyric showed up and immediately said, your robots are mine and you suck, dude. Now he's just like, can I please be cool again?
Yeah.
What a shame. Like, some Eggmans are, like, scary. So it's just like...
Yeah.
I like a goofy... Okay, I like a goofy Eggman. I like a funny, like, anti-villain Eggman. Like, I feel like that's kind of what he's gonna be in, like, later seasons of Sonic X from what I've gathered. And, like, that's fine. I like, you know, like, oh, we're on the same side kind of stuff sometimes. But, like, come on.
Like,
he really just does fit into that role where, like, a villain has existed long enough that, like, the heroes just don't care about them anymore. And so they're just kind of around being a nuisance, and they're like, can I be relevant again? And the show's like, no.
Yeah,
but, like, sometimes villains can still, I know the comparison's, like, really obvious, but, like, Mario and Bowser, you know, like, Bowser still, like, comes up as, like, the main villain of a lot of the games later, even
Yeah.
if they team up in other things.
Yeah, like in a whole bunch of RPGs, Bowser is like a secondary protagonist sometimes.
He sure fucking is.
Sometimes you're inside him and have to like hit things to make him do stuff. Anyways,
Sometimes Bowser bores you, and it's one of the best
Yeah.
Mario games out there.
yeah,
Sometimes he's just your friend, and like you're trying to stop an eviler person, and and he's married to Peach. It's fine.
Well, of course, he's always married to Peach.
I know, but like it's canonical in Super Paper Mario.
True.
So they get the crystal, and that's it for this week. Next time we talk about Sonic Boom, it'll be the last time we discuss this video game Rise of Lyric. After that, it's season 1 of Sonic Boom. There were 2 seasons of the TV show. It's gonna be like the Sat AM episodes, in that like it won't be every single episode. It's just gonna be like what episodes are cool and interesting and have fun stuff in them. And honestly, I think we're gonna get more bang for our buck with Sonic Boom than Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, because most of the time when I'm picking Sat AM episodes, or not Sat AM, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog episodes, I'm like, was there a YouTube poop bit in this? Was there a funny Sonic Says? Is there a recurring character in this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if Sonic Boom has any of Eggman's son in it. Miss that kid.
There is an episode that
Oh?
gives Eggman a
Ooh.
brother.
Oh.
Oh God.
Yeah. It's a really weird premise too. We'll get into it when we get into it, but for now, that's
now
it.
I have something to look forward to.
Yeah. Let's read off some questions. If you want to send in a question, you can send it in response to a Twitter post, which I forgot to set up this week, or or at any time at your leisure in the Ask Zone on our Discord, which you can get a link to in every single episode description, or from our Twitter at ShuffleSonic. So,
yeah, and we got some last minute questions, so
yeah.
good on the listeners.
Yeah. Thanks.
there.
Thanks, y'all.
Yeah. We'll start off by reading a question that was actually sent in last week, but wasn't able to be answered in time. Jasmine, friend of the show, question asker of many shows, co-host of Stranger's Fiction, asks, what puzzle would you like a Chaos Emerald behind? I feel like I've answered a question like this once before, but I can't remember. Maybe it was for something else, but I remember, I want to say I'm gonna use, what's that fucking ring puzzle called? Tower of Hanoi. Just the worst video game puzzle that you could possibly have.
I'm locking it behind several what's the word? Speed runs of various hard games.
Right.
You have to beat a certain time, and then you also have to avoid some like bear traps or something.
Right. Mm-hmm. You'll be so warned.
Yeah, I'm locking it behind No, go on.
Oh yeah, you'll be so worn out from like I don't
You'll be so worn out from like having to do a you'll be so worn out from doing a like hard mode run of Mega Man 2 that you'll just step right into that bear trap and boy.
Absolutely.
I would definitely just make it one of those annoying time trials in which they're like, get it in a certain time. Like, because my brain is brain rotted and I only think about two things in the world. Kingdom Hearts 2, where you have to fight Demix and he makes a bunch of water clones and you have to beat them in a certain time.
Oh, Dance Water Dance.
Yeah, Dance Water Dance. Yeah, that shit. Where it's like, collect all the little enemies in a certain amount of time, and if you don't, though, you lose, you fail.
Dance Water Dance!
Demix would love this game.
Yeah. So, Drashura asks, as this is the year 2021, would you trust the Sonic Boom crew to run C-Lab?
I haven't actually seen C-Lab. It's from like 2000.
I've seen the crew that runs C-Lab. I've seen the crew that runs C-Lab, and I say, yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, I feel like probably they'd be all right. If the C-Lab people can do it, then like the Sonic Boom people could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be fine.
Maybe not Knuckles.
Jasmine Sidmon sends in some more recent questions. How would Ecco the Dolphin handle the threat of Eggman and his mean bean machine? Now, the thing about Dr. Robotnik's mean bean machine is you're forced to play Puyo Puyo and be good at it.
Can a dolphin play Puyo Puyo?
I mean, yes. Yeah.
Like, maybe not without thumbs, but like, if it was just based on like brain power, sure, maybe.
Yeah. Ecco the Dolphin just makes out some sonar calls, and that's how he controls the Puyo Puyo.
Hell yeah.
I feel like if anyone in the Sonic crew can beat Eggman, I feel like Ecco the Dolphin can beat Eggman.
I also just don't know Ecco the Dolphin. I'm
just
like...
Dolphins
I know it's a game, and I know it's just a regular dolphin and not like a Sonic dolphin.
Yeah, it's... Ecco the Dolphin is like this really...
game.
It's like... It was like a... I think mid to late Sega Genesis title where like you were this dolphin, and it was like very... It was this platformer, I guess I would describe it, swimming platformer where you played as a dolphin, and like your like companions were like taken by aliens. There's like no dialogue. It's very weird and mysterious. Did you
know there were multiple Ecco the Dolphin games?
Yeah, I think there were at least two. I know there was one for the Genesis, and I think there was one for the Dreamcast, actually. Let me look. So... Yeah, there's...
I see games.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia article. There are 6 of them. Well, not quite 6. There was the original, released in 92. Ecco the Tides of Time from 94. Ecco Jr. from 1995. Let's see. I guess this was like this was an edutainment game? Huh.
I'm loving all I'm learning about this game.
Yeah, so Ecco the Dolphin and Ecco the Tides of Time are like these really surreal like swimming platformers. Ecco Jr. is an edutainment game. I don't know how that taught you things. There's Ecco Jr. and the Great Ocean Treasure Hunt, another edutainment game for the Sega Pico, which was an educational video game console released by Sega aimed at 3 to 7-year-olds. There was Ecco the Dolphin, Defender of the Future, which was a Dreamcast game and later got ported to the PS2. This was a whole new thing, I guess. I remember hearing about the Dreamcast one. And there's Ecco 2, Sentinels of the Universe, which was cancelled and meant to be a sequel to the Dreamcast game, but then the Dreamcast died. A playable build of the game was leaked online in 2016. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. Okay, would live-action Maleficent be a good mom to Boom Amy? Now,
I don't know, because I don't know what Boom Amy's regular mom is like.
I don't think we ever see Boom Amy's mom. I think
she might be in the show.
No, I've seen all of the show.
Oh.
Let's just say yes, because I like
they
the
really...
idea of Amy having a magical mom who also likes to kill people.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And turns into a dragon.
Yeah, turns into a dragon.
Right. Keith the Mouse asks, how much would the Boom series be improved by the inclusion of Dr. Starline? And I'm happy to say it would be a massive improvement. They could probably do a whole lot of things with his character, giving a more interesting secondary villain than the ones presented.
Yeah, I think we all know our opinions. I imagine if Dr. Starline was added into this game.
Yeah.
Why can't Dr. Starline be the one who's, instead of Lyric, why can't it be Starline who's taking over the world?
You know...
It would make more sense for how he's taking over Eggman's robots.
Yeah, definitely would be immeasurably improved. So... That's it for questions. So, I guess we'll roll for next week. Let me get that ready. That's another 2. Sure. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Sonic Adventure again. We're going to talk about Tails' story. Yeah, I think we'll just dedicate the whole episode to Tails' story. If it turns out to be way too short, maybe we'll see about including Knuckles, but I think Tails and Knuckles are both long enough that we can just dedicate one whole episode to each.
We can see what happened after Tails died.
Yeah, we'll find out about that. I'll get to read more lyrics.
Ooh,
yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
we're going from lyric to lyrics.
Yeah.
Hey.
So that's it for this episode. So let's take it to a close.
All right.
I'm Dan. You can find me at a lot of places. You can find all those places at linktr.ee/big_challenges. And from there, you can find my Twitter at Bigger Challenge. You can listen to my other podcasts, which include Pod of Greed, a Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast that I do with quite a few other people. I don't remember how far we are into season 2, but we're making progress. Our next episode, as of this recording, and let's see, will it be out? Let's see. Our next episode, our most recent episode as of this recording, will be one featuring friend of the show, Cassidy. And the week after that will be an episode with another wonderful Strangers Fiction and Audio Entropy co-host, Fabi Garza. We're going through Season 2 of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. You can listen to Strangers Fiction, an actual play podcast focused on one-shots, and we are in the process of uploading our interstitial campaign. Goes up every 2 weeks. I think by the time you listen to this, the next episode, which will be up, will feature our characters going to the world of Fallout New Vegas. And last but not least, you can listen to video games, the movie, the podcast, and for July, our movie this month is Street Fighter the movie. And you can enjoy listening to that. And last but not least, you can visit at Xbox_holiday, where Usher celebrates holidays with Xbox. Happy 4th of shit, Xbox.
God.
Morg, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Haunting the Morg. That's Haunting the MORG. You can also find me on my other podcast, Departure Lounge, a Hunter x Hunter watching podcast that is plane themed. Where I watch it for the first time and my co-pilots watch it through again and guide me through it. That's it for now. Devon, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Groovin Ghastly, and you can find me also on a Hunter x Hunter podcast called Gone Will Hunting, a podcast in which me and Keith go through it again while my roommate Sky goes through it for the first time. And it's pretty fun. It's pretty good. I like the it.
Alright. And you can find us on @ShuffleSonic on Twitter. You can find the link to our Discord. Join the conversation. People are saying all sorts of things about Sonic sometimes. It's a little quiet. Wait, hang on. I have to real quick check. Did I miss an important piece? No. Okay. Let's see. We do have a bit of an announcement. I don't think we've currently got it down to paper, but there are plans to make one episode a week, or one episode a month, dedicated to Sonic fan works. I don't think we've agreed on a specific thing, but I was thinking stuff like fan comics, like Ghosts of the Future, or Hanging Out, or Tails Gets Trolled.
God.
We can read Ken Pender's weird comic that's not Sonic, but kind of is Sonic.
Yeah, that's probably never gonna come out at this rate.
We'll
Yeah.
dig it up from the grave that it's buried in.
Yeah. So let me think. So there's that. And you can find us at noisepace.xyz. Noisepace is a podcast collective with that pretty much all of us are on, or I think, yeah, we've all been on at least one Noisepace show at some point, including this one. Pretty much every podcast that I mentioned being on, except for Stranger's Fiction, is part of that network. And you can listen to all sorts of wonderful shows. And this week, on our alphabetical shoutout list, is My Podcabbages.
Hell yeah.
My Podcabbages is an Avatar The Last Airbender rewatch podcast. Although, hosted by the wonderful couple Summer and Noah Geist. It's very fun. It's one of the best shows on the entire network. There's a wonderful charm to it. Let's see, some things, like, for a while before, like, the forum went down, they would, like, for their question section, instead of, like, sending out for questions, they would, like, read threads on the Avatar Spirit forums from when the show was still coming out. Let's see, they have, like, this wonderful energy to them, very calm, very entertaining.
They're just funny people with, like, good artistic talent.
Yeah, like, yeah. Like, Summer's an artist, Noah's a composer. Unfortunately, there hasn't been an episode in quite some time.
They're a bit sporadic. That's maybe its biggest flaw. But, like, totally understandable as someone with also a sporadic podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone who hasn't put out episodes in a few months, I understand.
Yeah, I know between their jobs, they're probably very busy most of the time. Their latest episode, their latest episode on the feed was from December 24th of 2020, and was recorded on December 24th of 2019, and it's called My Podcabbages Presents Dad Christmas. Summer and Noah got very drunk and discussed their thoughts on a photo shoot by Chris Maggio called Male Chef Christmas. I would suggest you go
fucking listen to that one. Oh my goodness.
You open your browser right now and look up Male Chef Christmas to see what the hell that is.
What the fuck?
And then you can listen to the episode and look at them again while listening to two other people try to make sense of Male Chef Christmas. It is a wonderful piece of art. That's it. That's it for this week. And as always, Sonic the Hedgehog is real. He is strong, and he is my friend.
He's the only Blue Live that matters.
The only one.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.